This is KGW News at noon.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Brenda Braxton. This week, we marked 1 year since doctors discovered the first case of COVID in Oregon. And the Portland City Council is now designating the first Monday in March COVID-19 Memorial Day in honor of the lives lost. In the meantime, there is some big news about who's eligible for the COVID vaccine in the state of Washington. Governor Jay Inslee made the surprise announcement yesterday that all teachers and school workers are on the priority list. That announcement happened just hours after President Biden called for states to do more. There are about 160,000 public and private K-12 school employees in Washington. They will now join seniors 65 and older in the vaccine queue. And doctors say the supply chain is getting better week by week.
It is still mainly a supply issue and a distribution issue. And it's great that we're actually seeing enough supply being increasing so that we can expand our horizons about how we vaccinate and to whom gets vaccine.
The Washington Department of Health says teachers will primarily get their shots at pharmacies, which have partnered with the federal government to create a nationwide network of vaccination sites. One of those is in Vancouver at the Tower Mall. Starting Friday, the drive-through vaccination clinic will be set up in the parking lot. Safeway Pharmacy will run this, and it expects to administer 2,400 doses. But don't call the store. It'll call you to make an appointment if you're on the public health waiting list. This week, the feds tripled the number of doses for Clark County to keep pace with its population. So here are the numbers in Oregon when it comes to vaccine distribution. This graph is broken down by age group, and seniors 70 and up lead the way. 31% of them have already gotten at least one shot. Just a week ago, people between 30 and 49 years old made up the largest percentage. A lot of people are calling Oregon's COVID hotline for vaccine appointments, and it really is overwhelming the system. That 211 line had to shut down at times this week. But as Mike Benner found out, reinforcements are on the way.
Dial up 211 in Oregon and Southwest Washington and you'll get comprehensive information on health and human services. And now, through a contract with the Oregon Health Authority, 211 is the COVID-19 hotline.
We're in unprecedented times and our call volume reflects it.
211 Info CEO Dan Herman says a month ago they would get 1,000 calls a day related to vaccines.
These were typically, seniors that were not internet enabled or digitally savvy, so could lend a lot of value to them.
Herman says as more and more people become eligible for the vaccine, more and more people are calling 211. Call volume is so high, 211 brought in more than 24 Oregon National Guardsmen to answer phones. Yet this happened Monday.
At 6 a.m. the line opens, all of a sudden there's 600 calls in queue, then there's 800 calls in queue, then a few minutes later there's 1,000 calls in queue. By about 9 a.m. yesterday morning, Monday, we determined that we need to shut the line down. It's bigger than us.
Same thing happened Tuesday. If you don't call 211 early, it's likely you'll get a recording.
Due to our current callback volume, we are unable to accept any more incoming calls today.
I would encourage people to listen really intently to our phone tree because there will be an option pretty early to leave your contact information. If you leave that contact information, we will get back to you.
Herman says the goal is to return calls within 24 hours, but he's hoping that's not even necessary in the coming days. Herman says another 32 Oregon National Guardsmen should be answering phones by early next week. 211 is hiring new staffers on top of that. And then there's this.
And we're now pulling in people that have been doing contact tracing at other community benefit organizations and training them as to how to take and answer vaccine calls.
Herman understands the frustration with calling 211 and not getting a real person on the line, and he urges patience.
I feel like we're throwing a lot at it. I know that we are. I know that doesn't solve for a lot of people that are trying us, but know that we're really putting best efforts into this.
In Portland.
Thank you for your patience.
Mike Benner for KGW News.
There's a new COVID variant in Oregon. It's the one first detected in Brazil. There's one case that we know of, and it's in Douglas County. Researchers say the Brazilian variant is more contagious and it may also be more deadly. It's also infecting people who've already had COVID. That said, the current vaccines appear to be effective in lessening the severity of this particular mutation. Okay, the other thing we are all talking about today is the weather. Lots and lots of sunshine. Wow, you gotta love that view from the Reserve Golf Course in Aloha. Rod, what else can we say? Just a beautiful afternoon.
Please, Brenda, stop. No, don't say any more. It is gorgeous outside, and with the change in the forecast that we talked about earlier today, with rain coming as early as tomorrow, we hope you have a chance to get out and enjoy. This is kind of fun. So we'll start off in the Dalles from the Oregon Veterans Home camera, and we're looking back to the west at Mount Hood, right? Now I'm going to hit my button and change to our Timberline camera. And we have it zoomed in at the summit, so you can see the glaciers and the snow, and that's kind of a cool shot, and the contrast between the white, of course, and the very deep blue sky that's above that summit. It's 40 degrees, by the way, at Timberline right now, so it's pretty mild up there on the mountain. Now the one spot, and I thought this would be partly cloudy, but it has really clouded over, and that's the Oregon coast. And if you look at a visible satellite picture, it is like this up and down the coastline. Still a lot of folks out on the beach walking around. Temperature is a little cool, 46 degrees. That, of course, is our Cannon Beach live camera. Here's that reserve camera once again. The temperature out in Aloha is 50 degrees, and clearly it's a great day to play golf. Winds are light. All areas, including out in Camas. Here's Camas Meadows Golf Course. Again, deep blue sky, just a beautiful day. Portland's at 50. I think we have 10 degrees in us, so we'll leave our high roughly at 60 degrees, maybe sometime around 3 o'clock, 3:30 hour. And then we'll be still fairly clear and 51 at 8 p.m. tonight. We'll track tomorrow's rain, have the updated forecast into your weekend. That's coming up.
Okay, we'll chat then. Thank you, Rod. Boy, this is a tough decision for the Oregon Brewers Festival. It was supposed to happen in July. It's super popular, but it decided to cancel this year's event because of COVID. Organizers posted the update on the website. The festival started back in 1988. It attracted craft beer lovers from all over the Pacific Northwest. They say until it's safe for the festival to return, please support your local restaurants and craft breweries and cider houses. Well, New Season says it's expanding, adding 2 more grocery stores. One will be in Lake Oswego in the Palisades Marketplace on McVeigh Avenue. It's going to be open in about a year. The second store there will be in downtown Vancouver, right on the corner of 15th and Main. That one should be open by the fall of 2023. Well, next Tuesday, voters in Oregon City will finally pick a new mayor. Voters will decide between 5 candidates. The position has been vacant since last November when voters recalled Mayor Dan Holliday. Yesterday, election officials tested voting machines to make sure they're working ahead of the March 9th special election. Clackamas County Clerk Sherry Hall says they always do this accuracy test a week before the election. They take a test deck of ballots and feed them through the tally machines. Hall says they also do a test like this after the election is certified.
To make sure that our equipment is working correctly, and it's very important that the public know that, because the public is who is really watching what we do, and we want it to be very transparent.
26,000 ballots have already gone out to voters. As of March 1st, the county got 3,500 of those ballots back. The election has to be certified by March 29th.